I watch you all the time on the air. How's it going at TNT? You like doing that?
I love my job. First of all, I'm going to watch the games anyway.
So they're going to pay you to watch?
So I'm getting paid to watch, and I love the guys I work with. But it's the toughest thing, Doc. When you retire, you don't have anything to do, and to get paid to watch basketball just kind of keeps me on scholarship, basically. Because a lot of these guys, I'm not saying we're dumb, but we don't have like great degrees. And also, I played in the NBA for 16 years. So I've been out of the workforce for 16 years. So my options of what I'm going to do when I retire are very limited. I don't want to coach. I don't want to go to work every single day.
Right.
So broadcasting is the best job ever.
Would you ever coach? Did that ever occur to you to coach?
No, it won't occur to me because I'm the old guy, get off my lawn. What I mean by that is I don't know how great these guys want to be.
Yeah.
Because I think the money has gotten so astronomical now. You got guys making $20, $30, $40 million. We joke around all the time. I'm so old. I remember we were walking around the locker room when the guy first made $1 million.
Yeah.
And now the average salary is $6 million. But I'm not sure how great these guys want to be. Like they want to make $30, $40 million, but I'm not sure how great of a player they want to be. And probably one negative, when you've been good at something, you kind of hold everybody to the same standard. And I would go crazy arguing and probably fighting with my players. That's why I won't coach.
Yeah. My friend David Foster always says good is the enemy of great.
Yeah.
And these people they make a bunch of money, and I think it takes the incentive away. It's like you got it made, you don't have to be great.
And it didn't used to be like that when I played because they wouldn't give you a 6-year deal for $150 million. They're like, we'll give you a 2-year deal for $600,000 so you'll keep playing. So it's frustrating at times because you see players who like, hey, I got my money, I'm just gonna chill. So that's probably the most frustrating thing. Even when I'm just being in the studio, you can see guys who get money and just pack it in.
Yeah. What'd you make your rookie year? Do you remember?
My first contract, it was 4 years, $2 million. I think my first year I made about 400,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
400,000.
Yeah.
And what would that be today? What are the rookies pulling out today?
Oh, you make $12 to $15 million a year.
Yeah.
And that's on your that's like on your rookie deal. Then you get 2 deals worth probably 100 to 200 million, 150 to 200 million. You probably get 2 more of those.
Yeah.
But listen, I don't begrudge these guys because I made more than Dr. J and Bill Russell. These guys were much better players than me.
Yeah.
But sometimes I see the numbers. I'm like, wow, this guy, he just got 5 years, $125 million. That's good work if you can get it.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's good work.
Yeah,
yeah. Now, answer me this, because you may have been asked this before, but look, I want to ask questions that people can really take something away from, because I'm curious what your theory is about this, because I mean, you're listed as one of the 50 greatest players to ever play the game in history. I mean, you're one of only 4 or 5 players to, I mean, what are the numbers? You're one of only 4 or 5 players to have scored, what is it, 20,000
points, 10,000
23,000 points, 12,000 rebounds, 4,000 assists. And you are not one of the 5 most physically gifted players to ever play the game. I mean, there are taller players, there are faster players, there are more muscular, more physically gifted players. You're not one of the most 5 best specimens to ever play the game, but yet you're in the top 5 to ever play the game. How did you make that happen? What was your philosophy? How did you make that happen?
Well, number one, I didn't like being poor.
Yeah.
And like basketball,
that helps.
I was telling you earlier about I wasn't going to get a degree in engineering or anything like that. But see, one reason I love sports, it could change your life. It changed my life.
Yeah.
I grew up in the project with a single mom, and I didn't know, but basketball saved me. It got me out of that environment. So once I started having success, you buy your mom a house, you buy your grandmother a house, and you're like, man, but you have to keep working your behind off. But I love sports because it just changed the entire dynamic of my life. I wasn't just some kid in the country, grew up poor, and that was my life. And it's only because of that ball. And once you started having success, like when I went to high school, I'm like, okay, now I got to get to college. Because at this time, I'm not thinking I'm going to play in the NBA. Let's be realistic. I'm thinking like,
Right.
okay, I'm going to go to college for free. And then when I got to the NBA, and I'm like, ooh, these guys going to pay me to play basketball.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm staying here as long as I can. I mean, I'm like, hey, this is a great living. Sports are a great living. I mean, football's dangerous, but it's still a great living because you got guys who, like I say, what would they be doing? Because people always ask me this question. I always say, I'm not going to give you no bogus answer. I have no idea what I would be doing if it wasn't for basketball. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was a great student. But basketball means a lot to me because it changed the dynamic of my life. And I tell these kids all the time, not just going pro. The reason I stress so much education because you get a chance to do what you want to do if you get that free education. You got so many people walking around here who are in debt and going to be in debt for a long time. To get a college scholarship to me, is the system perfect? Not even close to perfect. But to go to college for free, I think is a really big deal.
Yeah, because you're not debt loaded when you come out.
Yes.
I would not have gone to college if I wasn't on a full ride scholarship.
Yeah.
I went on a football scholarship, and I got hurt and all, but I mean, I didn't get killed, and it put me in college.
Yes.
And otherwise, I guarantee you I wouldn't have gone. And so I did go, and then I went on and got graduate school, and then went on and got a doctor's degree, and here I am today.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have done it without sports.
But that's the thing I tell these young kids. I said, first of all, I wish every kid could play pro sports. It's the greatest living ever. It's awesome. Yeah. But it's unrealistic. Less than 1% of all players are going to go on to the NBA, the NFL, or Major League Baseball. And that's why I tell them, man, please take advantage of that free education.